Hi guys, welcome to The World is Your Bowl of Noodles, Slurp Noodles, and Chat. I am the host, Jordan Ibukwe, and today we have a very special guest in the Noodle Plot. Please give it up for Tia Ola, who is an actress and a model, and who is nominated actress for the Young Actress Award, and who is a teen dental health advocate. But thank you so much for being on the show. This is just honestly incredible. And let's get into it. Tia, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, and what you do?
Yes, of course. So my name's Tia Ola. I'm a model from Dallas, Texas. I do modeling and acting, and I've been doing both for the last 3 years. And when it comes to modeling, I'm primarily a runway, fashion, commercial, lifestyle, high fashion. I do a little bit of everything when it comes to modeling. And when it comes to acting, I primarily do commercial, TV, and film.
Right. That's honestly amazing. I saw one of your, I think you were on Vogue, wasn't it?
Not yet, not quite. We're getting there. You're speaking it into existence,
Wait,
but the
it was
latest one,
Hollywood. Hollywood.
yeah,
Yeah.
Hollywood Times, and then the latest one was
Yeah.
Harper or Vietnam.
You look so beautiful in the dresses, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is such like she's so amazing, and like you look so beautiful, and you just know how to give the face. Just I just love seeing Black women when they model. I just love like my favorite one is Inoki Eye. So when I saw you
Me
model, I was like, this.
too. I love her too.
She is incredible, and you are incredible as well. And I just felt so uplifted, being that you are Nigerian American and I'm Nigerian too. So I just love the representation of just your work, and it's just fabulous. But I am curious to know what drew you to acting and modeling in the first place. Was it a dream from childhood or something you discovered later?
Yes, so my answer is kind of a mix of both. So when it comes to modeling, I didn't want to be a model, but I wanted to be a fashion designer. And I've always wanted to be that since I was like a little girl. So the way I got into modeling, it was during COVID, and I was just browsing YouTube, and I came across this documentary about the 2000s brand Baby Fat, which is owned by Kimora Lee Simmons. And one thing about her, she's a fashion designer and a model. And when I was watching this for the first time, I was like, oh, I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know you could do both. So in my mind, I was like, if I want to be a fashion designer, I should probably know how to model. So when I'm designing my collection and stuff, I know like what models to pick. Like I get like an outside perspective, if that makes sense. So that's kind of how I got into modeling. And so after, I came to that realization, I just looked around Dallas, seeing like, is there any modeling coaches, any modeling schools? And there turned out to be one nearby. So I convinced my parents if I could, sign up for this program, and thankfully they let me. But that's kind of how I started modeling. Acting, though, I never wanted to do it at all. I never wanted to do it. I was really shy when I was young, and my parents would ask me, just not really wanting like me to do it per se, but they're just like, would you ever try? And I was like, no, never. But the school I went to, they also had an acting program. And my mom asked me, like, do you want to try it? And I was like, no. But like a few weeks after I said no, I watched Elvis, the biopic that had Austin Butler in it. And this was 2022 at the time. So that's like when the movie was, I guess, more popular. And I put it on as like background noise. I wasn't really watching it. But Austin Butler's performance in that movie, I was, beg my pardon, but I was gagged. I know not a lot of people know what that is, but essentially I was
I
speechless.
feel
I
like,
was like,
yeah.
wow. Yes, I was like, he can really act, because throughout the movie, I was like, I was locked in. He really like caught my attention with that. And literally 2 days later, I came back to my mom, was like, yeah, sign me up. Like that was all the convincing I needed.
I love that when you saw Elvis on screen, you were just like, wow, this is just amazing. And you fell in love with the idea of acting, how you can express yourself and fall in love with like showing people your emotions. And so that's, I guess, important about acting as well, that you really go out there and say, this is how I feel and this is what I want to act. But I do want to go on to your roles, and I do want to know what has been the most rewarding role or project you've ever worked on, and why does it stand out?
Yes, so that role for me would be Timeless, and that's a short film that's coming out pretty soon. It's coming out in either, right now it's July, just giving the viewers some context if they're watching this back. So right now, currently it's July. So Timeless is set to come out August, September. But when I got that role, it was like really special how it happened. So I was in my room and I was watching a movie called Pleasantville, and it's like a 90s film. But the set of the movie is set in the 1940s. And so I'm watching this movie. I come out of my room just, to talk to my mom or something. And she told me, like, oh, I submitted you as a background for this movie Timeless. It's set in the 1940s. And I was like, oh. Okay, what a coincidence. Set in the 1940s. And Timeless is also like a romantic tragedy, kind of like a notebook type movie. And Pleasantville isn't necessarily that, but it has elements like that. But as she's telling me about the movie, I'm like, okay, this sounds cool. I just watched something like that like less than 30 minutes ago. And she said, like, yeah, I submitted you as a background, but the director wants you to be a part of the main cast. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. So that's kind of how I got into that role. And I was just so, it was a blessing or something because I just watched that movie set in the 40s. The movie I'm about to be in is set in the 40s. And then I even tied it back to the Elvis thing because that is also like a timepiece period movie. And my first ever acting role was a timepiece period movie too. And what just really made that special is everyone on set was very nice. Most of the actors were from Texas, but there was a few from, I believe it was Tennessee, like different parts of America too. But everyone was like so nice, so kind. To this day, that is like one of the most love-filled sets I've ever been in. It really felt like a family on that set.
So wait, I want to touch on the movie. It's coming out in August and September?
It's either one of those two, August or September, but I know like the press release for the movie is August for sure.
Got it. And like, can you tell us like the theme of it or like just the plot of the movie?
Yes, so overall, again, like a romantic tragedy. So it follows two characters, and I don't want to give away any spoilers because I'm like really bad about that. But essentially, one of the characters goes off to war, and it follows the main character for a little bit. They're both the leads, but one of the leads has a girlfriend. It follows the girlfriend as her boyfriend goes off to war, and a bunch of depressing stuff kind of happens. It's kind of sad, but it also is a really beautiful film. And in the movie, I played the main character's best friend.
Wow. Oh my gosh, that's a cool story. Like I love that you got the role that you were like not expecting, but it's a big role and like you even watched like a version of that somehow. And so it's kind of like a coincidence, like the dominoes were just aligning and it fell in
Yeah.
like the right day. And so I just love that for you. Like that, it's honestly amazing. And I can't wait to go check it out. I will see it. Will it be in movies by then in August? Or I just want to know because in case my viewers out there who are watching might be curious to know when.
I hope so. If you follow me on Instagram, stay tuned for the updates because I'm not sure if it's going to be released online or in person yet. But whenever it comes out, I'll let you guys know and definitely go check it out.
Period. And y'all hearing it too. Please go check Tia Ola's Instagram. I'll link it in the bio right here so you can go check her out. She's extremely incredible. And please go check out her dental advocate, Confident Smiles. And please, she's amazing. And go support her on her dreams and her missions. And also go support us too, The World is Your Bowl of Noodles on all socials. And yeah, that was the quick little mini break so you guys can go check her out midway of the episode. But let's get back into it. I know being a model and being an actress, you have a lot of stress and just a lot of things you have to handle. And so, how do you balance the artistic side? Let me say that again. How do you balance the artistic side of your work with the business side of the industry?
That's a good question. I'd say the biggest way I balance it is finding time for myself. So this might sound a little crazy, so everyone just stick with me real quick. But we as people, we all have different masks. So the way I talk to my mom or the way you guys talk to your parents or guardian, it's not the same way you talk to someone your age or your best friend. You kind of have to like switch the tone and the way you talk per se. So like the way you are depends on who you're talking to in the situation. So that's kind of how I find time for myself in an industry like this. Like I have an acting Tia who's much more, you know, extra, I guess, because you kind of have to be extra in acting. And I have a more, not necessarily subdued, but a more chilled out Tia when it comes to modeling, because modeling as its own is already extra. And I don't want to bring chaos to that. So I try to be more relaxed. And then when it comes to being interviewed, I try to be a mix of both. So you guys can get, all sides of me. But that's how I try to find a way for myself, if that makes sense. So at the end of the day, when I'm not doing anything, I go into like the most relaxed version of myself where I just lounge in my pajamas all day. I scroll on Pinterest. I talk to my best friend. Like I'm much more relaxed.
No,
So making distinctions allows me not to get like lost in the sauce or have like an identity crisis or something crazy like that.
right. I love how you like organize yourself. Like you have two different people but it's still the same Tia. It's just two
Yeah.
different like, sides of who you are, your personality, and you play it so well when you're acting. You give out the more, you know, I would say more bubbly side of yourself. You would like,
Yeah.
full out, go just shiny, bubbly, and when you're acting, you give out the cool side, the more, like she's chill, but like you give out a full circle you, and as and you stay who you are. I feel like a lot of people when they go into these big roles or just big like acting careers, they tend to like I guess forget their morals or forget who they are and just try to be like what everyone else says tells them to be. But you stay true to yourself, you stay true to your morals, and you are beautiful and you are absolutely represent a lot of girls out there who look like us, and it's just amazing what you do. And just thank you for doing that. Honestly, it just warms my heart that more Black women are getting into these scenes and getting into these professions, and it's just amazing. But
Yeah. Thank you.
I do want to go into rejection and criticism because because I
Okay.
do know that being an actress and a model, you do face a lot of rejection from roles or from just scenes. And so I want to know, have you ever faced rejection or criticism that really shook you? And how do you overcome it and keep going?
So when it comes to rejection, I'm the type of person where I'm like, I just keep it stepping. So I've been like rejected for certain things I like really wanted, but I'm like, okay, on to the next. Like, okay, I'm gonna keep going. But I'd say one thing that like really rocked my world when this happened was the modeling school I went to. They taught you a lot about like casting culture and like what it's like to go through a casting. So there was like this one mock audition type thing that we did where it was just me and one of the instructors, and I had to like walk in and kind of do what I did when we first started the interview, like talk about myself, explain why I wanted to do what I was doing, just like basic get to know you stuff. But I was like really shy at the time, and this teacher did not go easy on me. She was like really, I don't even know how to explain it, but she was like very intense with the way she was looking. Like she did not cut me no break or nothing. And like I was on the verge of tears afterwards because I was like, oh my gosh, I was so intense. But I guess the way I dealt with it is just you kind of have to go with the flow when it comes to something like that per se. But if it's like rejection, where it's like, no, you didn't get picked for this, or someone got picked for something else and you really wanted it, the best way I deal with it is I just remember it wasn't meant for you. So I take it more as like, thank you. Thank you for not picking me. Because I probably would have hated doing whatever that job was, or wouldn't have been the best fit, or the environment just wasn't right for me. So I take it more as like a redirection. Like I'm supposed to be doing something else. That's the way I take it.
I love the idea because I always say rejection is God's protection. I feel
Yeah.
like protection, whenever you're not giving something that you want or you're rejected from something, usually there's always something much more better on throughout the road. And so I love how you say thank you for not like picking me because honestly, what if you were picked for the role and you don't like it? Like would you enjoy
Right.
it? It's all about like your happiness and like how you love what you do. I feel like just like you said too, like enjoying and just being happy that you get the role and like in the process it might be hard, but you're happy, you're enjoying, being in the scene, you're enjoying the cast, it's like a family. And so you always have to have fun even while you're doing business. And if you don't enjoy what you do, then I don't think it would be fun later on. But honestly,
Yeah.
rejection is honestly maybe one of the best things for some people because it helps us work harder and be the best. But
Yes, it saves you time. That's another thing. It saves you time because if you wasted your time all day on a set that you ended up hating and the pay wasn't even that good and the project wasn't even, the best it could have been,
yeah.
you wasted X amount of hours because you're on these sets for multiple days or like a full school day, even longer. No, just go ahead and reject me so I can go home.
Let me go home and eat and just be in my PJs because I don't have
Yeah.
time to be unhappy. But I do want to touch on the misconceptions. I want to know what's a misconception people have about being an actress or a model that you wish they could understood.
Yes. So when it comes to both, actually, and I used to have this misconception because remember, I did not see myself originally being in the limelight like the way I currently am. But most models and actors are vain people. Like they're, very stuck up. That's something that I used to hear a lot, even like in the movies, just models are airheads and actors only care about themselves and stuff like that. And I kind of see why it's true, not gonna lie, because there are some people like that, so I definitely see where it came from. But majority of the models and actors that I personally know or just even talked to briefly, they're not like that. Most models and actors, believe it or not, they do way cooler things than modeling and acting. Like they have like 9 to 5 jobs, or they're like, you know, more like they are into more creative stuff as well. Like there also might be a photographer on the side, a videographer on the side, a makeup artist. I met this one actress who was also a lawyer. Like they do other cool things as well. So that's just something that I wish could be not as common. Like not all models and actors just are self-absorbed. They also do other cool things that are also impactful as well.
This like I really thought because sometimes you do hear some models are a little stuck up, but I feel like we can't always put everyone in the same box. There's a lot of people, especially a lot of models, who do more things, who are advocates, just like you, advocating for better ways for people to have better health, for people who are actually, I know someone who models and also has an art career on the side. Like there's so many people just don't also model. Like yeah, there might be people who do 20 like 4/7 modeling, but there's also people who model and do other things as well. So I love that you do touch on that too, because there is this misconceptions that models are a little like, above and beyond, but really I feel like a lot of models are humble, they have great lives, and they are so sweet, just like you. And so honestly, it's just refreshing to hear a different side of that story. But
Yeah.
I want to know what keeps you motivated when the industry feels super competitive and super exhausting.
Ooh, that's a good one. I'd say the biggest thing is remembering where you want to be in the future, remembering your future self. So I'm someone I love self-help stuff. I jumped on like the self-help train a few years ago. I don't know, I came across like one self-help video and it just got out of hand from there. But I learned a lot from like watching self-help videos on YouTube, reading, self-help books and stuff like that. But remembering your future self, what do you see yourself doing in the future? So I practice a lot of like visualization and like off camera, I have like my vision board and stuff. So that's what really, really keeps me grounded. Like, I will be successful. If I'm not successful, I'm gonna freak out because I honestly don't know what I'll do if I'm not successful in the future. So I gotta keep working, gotta keep trying so I can get to that version.
Exactly. Vision board. I love a vision board. I love a great vision board. I have two actually in my room. But like you said, I love saying things as in the future, like I will be this, I will do that, because you're speaking it into existence. It's going to happen if you believe it, and if you have faith. Now, trust me, it will happen. But honestly, I do believe that just having the mindset of success, that I will be successful, that I will be like, the great next model in history, or I will be the next great thing, it's always important. It's setting yourself up for success because you have a high mentality and you're not putting yourself down. So I love that. And honestly, people who are watching, don't put yourself down because you think everyone's not doing what you're doing or it might be impossible, because it is possible. You just have to start thinking like it is and start putting yourself up and be positive. But
Yeah.
I want to go into identity and impact. And I do want to know, how has your career shaped the way you see yourself? And how do you stay grounded in who you really are?
I think that goes back to what I touched on earlier with those distinctions. That is the number one thing for sure, because there have been moments, but you also got to know how to practice it. So there have been moments where I'm like, model Tia, much more subdued when it doesn't really call for that. You should be a little more extra. Like you gotta know when to use it. So I'm still, working on that part. But overall, just building those distinctions, having them. There's school Tia. I'm much more active in like my school activities and, participating in class. But I don't really talk about, modeling and acting projects because that'd be distracting to the class. I try to stay on topic. Or, just really practicing and building those distinctions. I cannot keep saying that enough. And yeah, implementing those for sure. That's how I stay grounded.
Definitely. School, Jordan, is something else. I feel like, of course, I do get my work done, but like, sometimes I would love to like hear, I just love talking. And so I feel
Me
like
too.
I confuse my like talkative side when I'm with my friends. I just keep going on and on and on. I'm like, Jordan, you're not in a podcast. Turn that off. Like you're in school.
Exactly. Because
Like,
like if I was to yap during like a casting or during like a runway rehearsal, they'd cut me because you're supposed to be paying attention. You're supposed to know what you're doing. Because if you get out there and you mess up, That those people have no problem telling you, "Oh, you're never coming back. Like we can never use you. You messed up the whole production." So really knowing when and when not to showcase certain sides of your personality. Like
Right.
right now, it was appropriate to yap because if I gave short answers, all of the viewers would be gone by now.
No, I feel like anyhow you answer because you answer these questions beautifully, and I just want to tell you
Thank you.
that. But I want to know what kind of stories or images do you hope to put into the world through your work?
The biggest story I hope to tell is that being successful or just, yeah, being successful, being someone of success isn't linear. Like there's not a step-by-step plan to become a successful model or a successful actress or a successful anything. Everyone's plan is different. Everyone's plan is different. Some people make it to where they want to be by like going through all the crazy methods, the illegal methods, it's something insane. And other people get to be successful by doing the most obvious things. Some people get successful by doing the most ludicrous things. But
Mhm.
I want to be someone who shows that you can be successful without selling your soul, without doing nothing crazy, without doing nothing illegal. You just got to keep trying. As long as you're trying, that's not failure to me. Failure to me is just not trying, period, at all.
Failure, like you said, I feel like a lot of people, they do crazy stuff to get to success. But
Yes.
there's always another way to get to success. Either safer, and I feel like people, the idea of success is to get to it no matter what. Rush it, do the quickest possible way. But sometimes success will take years. Some people
Mm,
might become successful in their 40s, their 50s, and some people might become successful in their early 20s. Success doesn't, it's really like an up and down thing for some people. But as
exactly.
long as you're happy, you enjoy your life, I think you won the jackpot. Like you have to
Exactly.
love
As
what
long as you made it,
you right.
I could make it when I'm 200 years old if I even live that long. But you know, you get the point. 90 years old. At least you made it. At least you made it.
At least you lived. Like I feel like people are so boring these days. They just want to do like be like everyone else. Enjoy life. Like go out in the rain and just be a little kid. Like
Yeah.
I feel people like in my like when I'm off and I don't have anything to do, I'm playing Roblox. Like you can't stop me. 2016 has never left me at all. So honestly, I just love just being enjoying life and just like you said too, just like success isn't linear or it's not linear, but it's sometimes up and down. But it's all about the journey and how fun you're gonna have. But I want to talk about pressure and I'm curious, have you ever felt pressure to fit into certain beauty standards and how have you navigate through that?
Okay, so I love to watch video essays on YouTube. So like whenever, and I have a TikTok, but I'm not super active on there. And I know it's like the Wild West out there. There is a beauty trend on that app every 2 seconds. But I do try to stay up to date because as a model, we're kind of the ones who start a lot of them, honestly. But I personally, and I feel like this is not like an unpopular opinion, but not a lot of people have this mentality per se. I don't get affected by the beauty standards, and I think the biggest reason why it doesn't affect me is because I just know beauty isn't what makes someone attractive per
Right.
se. Like there's gorgeous people out there, but they're the meanest, ugliest people you could ever talk to ever, and they're drop dead gorgeous. But like that's something that a lot of people are forgetting. Looks are not everything because when you die, girl, your plastic surgery is not coming with you. Your facelift is not coming with you. So just remembering that, don't think of yourself as like just your looks. Think of yourself as a soul, as a being. Nurture you internally. You know, study, learn as much as you can about the world. Because again, when you die, nothing in this world is coming with you but the memories you have and the soul inside yourself, if that makes sense. It got very deep there, but it's just remembering there's more to life.
You got it. You hit it. I feel like a lot of girls, they always put that Botox, lip filler, eye lift, this, that. I'm like, girl, you don't need to be looking like plastic. You are a whole human body with flesh. Stop injecting plastic in your bodies. Like that does not make you beautiful. People don't understand that beauty is more in the heart than of the outside. Let me tell you something. If we were to get an X-ray and judge people by their hearts, I bet the prettiest people will have the ugliest hearts ever. Because no way you're throwing shade at someone because they're not like prettier than you or like you're prettier than them. Like it's just so mean how people think to be pretty is like, you know, if you're pretty, you're like the best person in the world. I
That
feel
is so far from true. It's so not true.
true. I feel like the nicest people are the most genuine, wholehearted people ever who just care for people, who are humble and kind, like you and just a lot of people out there. And so, hey, whoever's watching this video, don't think pretty is the only way to be, or you can be a nice person and still look beautiful. I feel like nice
This
is
is just some food for thought. Another thing that I always like to think about is when you look at your face, just remember you're a combination of your parents. So,
Mhm.
like looking at my face, even looking at your face, you're looking back in time, seeing your parents, 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 parents. It's a part of your heritage too.
Yeah.
And to disrupt that by getting, and now there's nothing wrong with plastic surgery, but like you getting too much, really transforming your face for real. I could never because I like, seeing parts of my mom in my face, seeing parts of my dad in my face. I have siblings, seeing like their different combination of my parents and their unique faces as well. That's just some food for thought too.
And how do you, I also want to touch this because I know it's self-love. How do you love yourself wholeheartedly without letting anyone judge you for who you are?
So when it comes to that last part, not letting anyone judge me, I feel like I do have a little bit of a privilege there because I do go to school from home. And I know a lot of people, they go to school in person. So in that sense, that's where I try not to judge myself too much because I don't really have anyone to compare myself to because all of my classmates are virtual and I only see them every now and then. But just watching self-help stuff on YouTube. So like I love the Wizard Liz. She's one of my favorites. She's a little intense. So be but her on YouTube, even though her delivery is intense, her as a person, she's a little questionable. But what she's saying, you just take bits and pieces from that. Self-help for sure
Right.
really helps me with that. And just doing what you love, that too. Even if it's lame, embrace that it's lame. That's another thing. If someone says, like, I love collecting vinyls, I love music. And some of my music taste, I have the music taste of like someone born in the 1940s per se. So I have like Elvis records, I have Bob Marley records and stuff. Someone could potentially say that is the worst music taste I've ever heard. Okay, it's awful, but I like it, so I'll embrace it. Like it could be legitimately awful music, but I like it. So that's just the way I think about it.
Trust me, my music taste is all over the place. Like, one minute you're listening to opera, the next minute you're listening to some pop. It's just, I love a whole genre of music, and I love 1900 music, especially like just Diana Ross or just any like I love them. I love all of them. Like they're all
Yeah.
the greatest. And I just love Elvis too. Like his songs like, are just really just amazing. And also the Elvis movie is so good. I don't know if I like it's amazing. Like I love the Elvis movie, insanely good. But I do want to know like if people who are watching this, because I know there's some people who might be curious into going into acting or modeling, what advice would you give to young people who want to break into those places but feel intimidated?
Yes, so the biggest piece of advice, I wrote this one down because it's a good one. The biggest piece of advice that I have for you is to be fearless and do not let embarrassment stop you. Because that's one of the mistakes I made early on. Because I would, oh my gosh, when I would be in my acting classes, just saying my name in front of the class, I would be sweating so bad. So bad. I was so nervous and so embarrassed to get in front of the class and say my name or like to perform a monologue or something. And you kind of have to like feel the embarrassment and let it go. That's how you reach freedom for me. You got to feel it and then you just have to let it go. So in anything that you do, I'm gonna guarantee you it's gonna be embarrassing in one way or another, but you just gotta push past it. And once you realize like that feeling, as awful as it is, it's only gonna last maximum a few seconds. You're gonna be so relieved. Like that's all I had to overcome to get to where I wanted to be. And then another thing is that embarrassment, it's all really in your head. Because as people, we're all, a little self-obsessed. Like we're only worrying about what's going on in our lives, what's going on in our family. So if you just trip over like a line in class or you trip on the runway, they're only going to be focusing on that moment for max 5 seconds. Then once you get back up and continue, everyone's already worrying about like what am I going to eat after the show? Like what am I going to do next? Like they're going to be moved on past it already. So
Right.
don't let embarrassment stop you.
I have so many embarrassing moments, but I feel like just humans, we have embarrassing moments. We all learn how some of them do stick. Don't get me wrong,
Yes.
some of them just stick. But if you take that moment and just say, well, it's in the past. What can I do to change it? And just like laugh it off. I feel like you just gotta take it lightly. Like you're human. You're gonna make mistakes. You can't run away from that. But it's just the fun of it all. Like I guess you would like look back and say like, wow, I actually did that. That's kind of funny, like how I did that. But I love that you just pointed out embarrassing things because I feel like whenever I'm on my podcast, I can say the most random stuff. And I'm like, oh, I said it. Like, I don't know why I can take it back, but I just said it and I just laugh it off. Like, sometimes I do stutter. Sometimes we all make mistakes, but we just got to learn to move on and just keep going. But knowing that the timer is running out, and I'm just like, I wish Zoom could like extend the time further on. But I do want to ask you one more question because I
Yes.
always ask my guests who come into the noodle pod, what is your favorite bowl of noodles?
Ooh. So are we talking like European noodles or Asian noodles?
Any type.
All right, I'm gonna give both. I'm gonna give two answers. So when it comes to European type noodles, I love any type of Alfredo. I love Alfredo so much. It's a problem, really. Alfredo is the go-to with like chicken, and I also like seafood. So if they put like some shrimp in there, I'll eat it up too. But if we're talking like ramen type noodles, I like hot pot, which I know it's like Chinese, but like hot pot and you just put some noodles in the hot pot, that's really good too.
That's shoot, hot pot is good. I
It's
don't
really
care
good.
what anyone says. I love noodles. Like I'm a crazy like addict for noodles. I literally like the one noodles I just really want to try. I just want to try carbonara noodles. I want to try budok. No, budok is a noodle. I want to try tteokbokki because I heard like it's so good and I just see it on my TikTok and I'm like, why haven't I tried this yet? And another thing that I really do want to try is those like those like packet of noodles. They come in like pink, green, and they're like really spicy. They have like the chicken in the logo. It's like Korean noodles.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, those are like really spicy.
I heard they were really good, and I don't know. I can't handle spice, but I love the challenge. So
Me, I,
I, I'm
I'll try
going.
them too.
Hey, we can do a collab. Let's do the
Yeah.
of the world. But honestly, I just love noodles. My name of the podcast is Noodles, so I'm a big foodie. If y'all don't know, I love food. That's my go-to. That's my comfort right there. But thank
Yeah.
you so much, Tiola. You are outstanding. You're fantastic. You're just beautiful. And just thank you for just being here and telling the viewers out there like modeling it because I feel like people don't know much about it, but you really addressed so much about it that I feel like I hope viewers out there who are curious to do more modeling can go for it and just keep pushing for their dreams. And thank you so much for being here because you are absolutely amazing.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I hope you guys took away something from what I said so far, but just at the end of the day, go for your dreams no matter what anyone says and make your future self proud.